I want to ask you to just break down really quickly a few wild trends. Speaking of social media, we found some trends on TikTok. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. This is one our team was debating about. We saw some people hyping rapid release methods like scream therapy. Do you think that this is actually cathartic or chaotic?
No opinion.
Ah, okay, interesting.
No research. Research, right? There's nothing empirically validated about scream therapy, right? Scream therapy is from like the 70s, I think. It's like a 70s phenomenon.
It's making a huge comeback. We're seeing people talk about it all the time. So
yeah, I mean, there's kind of an interesting question always floating in the ether, right? Which is, is all therapy therapeutic, and are all things that are therapeutic therapy? And of course the answer is no.
Right.
To both.
Right.
Right? So you can find things, I mean, there are very clearly delineated, empirically validated gold standards in therapy. Scream therapy is not one of them. Never has been. I'm fairly sure it never will be.
Right.
Having said that, that doesn't mean that somebody doesn't get some kind of relief or release from it. I have no idea, right? I can't be the judge of that. Walking in the woods is not therapy, but people of course say like, oh, nature is my therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess it kind of depends on how are we defining therapy or therapeutic? Do you mean like empirically validated? No. Helpful to many people? Sure. And does it have to be, maybe the other thing that we're always trying to get our arms around here is, does something have to be therapy in order to be legit helpful? And of course the answer is no. Like going for a walk with your best buddy isn't therapy, but it's very therapeutic, right? Yeah. Petting a horse, there's equine therapy, but then there's just petting a horse or another animal. There's lots of animal interaction that's not animal therapy, and people find it very therapeutic. Right. So maybe we're kind of also talking about the difference between capital T and lowercase t, like therapy versus what do you find therapeutic? Right.
Interesting.
But I will stand behind scream therapy is not empirically validated.
That good to know, because the TikToks, the Instagrams will have you down these rabbit holes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean it's not helpful to someone.
Yeah.
But I also have no idea what helpful means, right? Like I don't know what that means either. Does it make them feel better for 5 seconds? Does it make them feel better for the next 10 years?
Right.
I don't know.
What is it? Right. One last other trend that we keep seeing over and over and over, psychedelic therapy, specifically in trauma treatment. Is it promising or problematic?
Ooh, I think that depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Not my lane per se. Certainly the MAPS trials, which was the big years-long, very carefully controlled studies about psychedelics and trauma therapy, was the MAPS work was submitted for FDA approval, and my understanding is that it was sent back down and did not make it to the next phase of clinical trials, that they were sent back to the drawing board, so to speak. And I'm not up on the details of what that was exactly, if they just needed more time, more evidence, more subjects, more what. I'm not sure where the whole MAPS things stand. I think it's important to note that regardless of what's going on with that, there's a big difference between recreationally using substances, whatever substance that is, and being in a therapy environment with trained people.
Right.
And so, when people ask me about psychedelic therapy, my first question to them is like, well, what do you mean by that? Right? Because for some people that means, I met somebody who said they're a psychedelic guide, and they said I should go get myself some psilocybin and then come to their office, and they will sit with me and guide me while I something. And I don't know what any of that means. I don't know who this person is, but I know that that's not a therapeutic modality. I know that that is not evidence-based, and I don't know what it means for somebody to be a psychedelic-assisted guide or coach. I just don't know what that means. Right. I know what it doesn't mean, though, right? And there is certainly, it seems to me, an important distinction to be made, and maybe different people would make this distinction differently, but there's an important distinction to be made between getting a little high and doing some kind of rigorous therapeutic work. And usually it's licensed therapists who do rigorous therapeutic work, whether you're using some, I mean, ketamine clinics for depression are a big thing, right? But those clinics are staffed by licensed, trained therapists. There's a protocol that they are following very, very carefully with high fidelity to the model. This is not have some ketamine and let's see what happens and see if you feel better, right? So my sort of thought for anybody who's thinking about that is ask yourself, is this person offering something truly professional, or is this person offering me the chance to get high and kind of like sit with me and see what happens while I'm doing that? Right. Because that is most certainly not an empirically validated approach to doing anything. I don't have any dog in the race on whether someone wants to do that for recreational purposes, right? That's a totally separate question. But don't confuse a recreational experience with a therapeutic experience, and don't confuse having that substance, whatever the substance is, because you have the substance, then it's intrinsically therapeutic. That's just getting high.
Yeah.
That's the difference between being in an environment where somebody has a protocol, right, and an empirically validated model versus not. Right. Just seeing what happens and being there. I mean, that's what people do when they're with their friends just getting high, right? It's like everybody sits around and they talk each other through whatever's happening-ish. So I really encourage people to be very, very careful about vetting the professionalism. And I don't mean that these other people are out to harm people or anything like that. I'm just saying there's a reason that there are licensed professionals in every discipline, right? There's a reason that licensed engineers design and build bridges, not the rest of us who have a Lego set. Right. I have a Lego set. Right. That doesn't make me qualified. I know what a bridge looks like. I can draw one. Right. That hardly makes me qualified to suggest.
No one would want to drive on a bridge that I created.
I don't want to drive on a bridge I created, right? This is not the same thing. Yeah. Totally. So please, to anybody who's considering, just be really careful and thoughtful about what it is you're trying to get out of the experience, and who it is or what outfit it is, what their credentials are to help you get that outcome.
Right. Very important. Very important.